In the name of Ra, life, health, and strength is due to him. This is part 3 of the Fitrah MGT GCC series. In the previous part, we were discussing how if a man is not able to remain in a state of peace, despite whether or not a woman's body is revealed, then that particular man is not actually a man in the spiritual definition of a man, but that person is a savage. We need to take a look at what does God himself say about women's bodies. So in Surah 59, Ayah 24, it says, He is Allah, the creator, the evolver, the bestower of forms. Now, so the form of a woman's body is not something that is outside of the creation of the divine. It is a reflection of the creation of the divine. It is Allah who has made for you the earth as a resting place and the asteroid belt as a canopy and has given you shape and made your shapes beautiful. This is Quran Surah 40, Ayat 64. Now, so it says that Allah himself has made your bodies and your forms beautiful. So this is of his creation, something that he has done, beauty that he has instilled. Then what right do we have to think that the body is the cause of sin and that is driving men to commit sin? It's not your shape that makes man sin. It's his own savage mind that makes him sin. This false guilt put on the female body can result in psychosomatic and feminine health disorders. For example, if a woman really believes that her breasts are causing disruption in the spiritual life of others, then over time this can become activated in her subconscious, which the Egyptians call Ra. It could be like a worm in the subconscious eating away at her Ra force that will now manifest later in life as a breast disorder or breast disease. The same thing with ovarian disease. Now, I'm not saying that every disease that a person is afflicted with comes from a psychosomatic disorder, but I'm saying that all attacks upon the natural order that God has made contribute to social or personal health diseases. I want to say that when I opened the Fitrah Temple of the New Islam, or Salam, Fitrah, sister, you'll be able to come into our temple in your full garb if you want, or you can come in a bikini if you want, because our focus is not on your mind. Pardon me, our focus is on your mind, not on your behind. I hope that wasn't a Freudian slip. Let's go on. Yoga is a science, and that science was created by black women scientists of India, Tibet, and Ethiopia. The Salat postures are based upon the yoga sun salutation postures. If you haven't ever seen the sun salutation, then I suggest and request that you locate a video in which these postures are being shown, and they're also in books. And what we have in the Salat prayer postures are an abbreviated or shortened down form of the yoga sun salutation postures. I suggest and recommend that practice of yoga and other good health exercises like Tai Chi, that they become an integral part of the MGT GCC curriculum. And just as the FOI brought karate to America, the MGT must now teach yoga and bring that and popularize that to the women of all the world, or of all of the nations. Yoga actually means unity. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught that our unity is more powerful than atom bombs. Yoga is another word for the Arabic word tawheed. So, some petty, small-minded clerics or men stole an entire age and then persecuted women. And now you're mad as hell and not going to take it anymore. It is written in the book of Malachi, would a man rob God? And it says, yea, you have robbed me, this whole nation. Well, it's really talking about the theft of an age. And so the entire age of Pisces was perverted from being a wonderful spiritual age of immersion into the watery content of God's presence. It became corrupted into slavery, suffering, feudalism. And these perversions on humanity has brought about the condition in the world today when all of the institutions of the world are crumbling. It is written that Elijah must first come and restore all things. And this restoration includes the restoration of the female, of the woman, in her proper position of leadership in this age that we're living in, and to get us ready for equality in the age that is to come. In the Quran, there's a chapter, Surah 60, that's entitled "The Woman Who Is to Be Examined." And that's in verse 10. And this is a very, very deep message. And it's a message for brothers and for sisters. It's saying that in order to be sanctified, in order to be purified, the sister first has to be examined. Now, this can be a combination of a physical examination, a spiritual examination, and an emotional examination. Many of you, unfortunately, have trauma in your life, from rape trauma, abuse trauma, racist stereotypes about your body, racist stereotypes about beauty, the way that Hollywood people have distorted a woman's view of herself. You got to realize that most of the men who control Hollywood are not men who love women. They're men who love boys. And so their image of beauty is primarily that of a skinny 15-year-old boy with breasts. Well, your body was not made by God to look like that. That's why he made your forms beautiful. Your forms were made so that your hips and your breasts and other parts of your body will expand as they're supposed to expand naturally at different times almost of a month, and definitely during your pregnancy period. And so most women are not built to fit the Hollywood model of beauty. It began with Twiggy. If you look at Twiggy and look at then the women that came before Twiggy, then you'll see that she actually changed the mold of what a woman is supposed, and I say that in quotes, to look like. And so now we have all these diseases that have come from the impossible task of living up to a man's idea of a woman's body that is based upon that man's lust for a boy's body. I want to get you out of that corrupted idea of who you are. You are not meant to look like a 15-year-old boy. You were meant to look like a woman. And your natural feminine body is pleasing in the sight of God and pleasing in the sight of man. These diseases that are now afflicting particularly non-black women, such as bulimia and anorexia, can be traced back to a corrupted idea of beauty that's in the fashion industry, in the Hollywood movie industry, in the television industry. And these things are feeding our mind. And any woman that is of her natural body type, they call her plus size. And then they say, oh, that's gross. You're not supposed to be plus size. We have to now counteract that corrupt virus that's in the brain and take that out and put a new image in the brain that's based upon the nature in which God has created us. So we have to identify these viruses, some of these programs. As I mentioned, one is rape trauma. Another is incest trauma. We have the lie that's been placed on women of original sin. Unfortunately, particularly in the black community, we have so many women who have grown up without a father figure in their lives. We have trauma based upon the feeling of shame or guilt of abortions that were had in the past. Women too often were told that they were stupid or too sexy or not sexy enough, or that they can't do math. They could not use different parts of the brain that a man uses. All of these lies must be exposed to the light of the sun and exorcised from us. The Bible says in Genesis chapter 2 that there was no man to work the earth. Now what that is telling us is that in this age and time, there are no real men, or very few real men, in the hells of North America. So therefore, if you don't have a real man, then you've got to start examining yourself. And you examine yourself based upon the harmony of the way of the cosmos, or Fitrah, the natural principles of life, the natural principles of religion. I must say here that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that after him, that there would be a council of men, and I'm going to say and women, who would make laws based upon the Bible, the Quran, and the signs of nature. By studying the signs of nature, we get a real idea of the mind of God and the natural laws of God. In this day and age, there's not a one-man show. In this day and age, we have to have a community of people who are enlightened, and they make the principles, the laws, or they actually interpret the laws, and these laws are the laws of Ma'at that we're supposed to live and prosper by. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad also said that there would be a new Islam, a new Quran, and that this new book is what the people must give ear to. My beloved brothers and sisters of all nations and nationalities, in Fitrah, that's what we are representing to you today. This new approach, and this new understanding, and this new dispensation that will solve the problems that the world's clerics and so-called representatives of the divine have been unable to solve. We will continue this discussion in the next part. Please tell all your friends to tune in to this series of the Fitrah MGT. Thank you so much for your time and for listening, and may Rob bless you with all the prosperity in life.